Now you lived in Arizona for many years until about
2001.
Right before Nation, you guys left, right?
Yes.
And moved back. I never saw the band getting kind of backlash for. It seemed like the band sort of walked the line. How much did you ever run into like hardcore nationalism or patriotism for speaking views like what you're speaking now?
Well, never, man. You know, I try to be reasonable, you know, because if you really start talking about like the way you feel and stuff, you're gonna be portrayed as a radical, you know, and it doesn't go anywhere. I mean, really, I think more than talking, you know, people have to listen, you know, and myself included. You know, really, because, you know, if everybody listen, you know, everybody will have the chance to talk, because there's a lot of people there to listen and really embrace some different different ideas, you know. Oil is not, I mean, Brazil just found like huge amount of oil now, you know, in China it's growing like crazy, and, you know, the planet, and, you know, the air we breathe, the food we eat, how we eat, and why, everything, you know, it has to change somehow, you know, but not in a revolutionary way. It's like in more, it is a revolution, but not a violent revolution, you know. It has to be like a different different ideas, you know. We have ideas, we have bright minds all over the place,
sure,
but we just like very, you know, we cannot breathe, you know, because the movement of time it's brutal, you know. There's no room to really breathe outside this kind of, you know, big cities and metropolis and airplanes and, you know, stuff.
The whole paradigm.
Yes.
There's so many things that we're.
It's you know, it's a big snowball, and I don't think there's any hope. It's hard to say.
Well, you're a parent though, and then you have a band, and you're regardless of
believe in the future.
Okay, I mean, you're still investing in something like this band, and I mean, you're still here. You came from many thousands of miles away to play, and I'm curious about that. As far as you guys have talked about trying to tour more green and things like that in the future, right?
Yeah, you know, there's some options there, like eco buses, you know, ecological buses, and we did a show with an orchestra in Brazil that we plant like 1,000. I don't know how you call that in English.
Seeds?
Yeah, seeds of the Brazilian wood, which is an extension and stuff, and trying to make stuff like that. But more than the physical things like that, it's like the conscience, the mind, you know. And, you know, in schools now, I have my kids going to school, you know, you see that the ecological stuff, it's much more present, you know. Right. While in my days, you know, was nothing talking about it. It was not so long ago, you know, like in the 70s, or, you know, it was 30, 40 years ago, you know. It's very short time, and we are here, you know. But I remember some people already talking about, you know, but it was very, you know, here and there was no internet, you know, so you heard the stuff like very slowly paced, you know. But now you see in the school they are more concerned about things. You see the youngsters more concerned about paper or trash or whatever what they eat and stuff. So it is a little better, you know. But we have to change, I think, the way we live in, you know. It's like too much stress, cancer, and, you know, too much stuff that we don't need that, you know. I mean, we're killing ourselves for something that is not definite, you know, like money, and, you know, and power, or whatever, and stuff like that. So, and, you know, the idea of nations and all that shit is like crazy, you know. That's why I think it's almost impossible to change, you know, because the human being is rooted in that kind of situation. Even in the Greek days, you know, like democracy and society. Yeah, a lot of the good stuff came from Greek, but all the bullshit came from there too, you know. It's not only the positive ideas.
Well, but I mean, perhaps what's going on is an external manifestation of an internal conflict. We have that stuff that is programmed into us from millions of years, that tribalism and all that, you know. And then we have these other qualities for ingenuity and problem solving, and
Yeah.
which it just seems like if ever there was a time for those things to come to good use, it would be now. You know.
Hey, but I mean, like I said, we are very ignorant. You know, we make technology, but we make litter, we make trash.
Sure.
We make atomic bombs without knowing the consequences.
And biological weapons, and even stuff in the food. You know,
Yeah, AIDS and and food and stuff.
Sure.
I mean, we tried stuff thinking, Nobel Prize, and now you see the consequences of the fucking genius that did 100 years ago a lot of bullshit like plastic and.
Right.
That's very lethal for nature.
Sure,
you know?
sure.
You have a piece of plastic to put stuff, whatever. You use plastic everywhere, you know, but they're not part of nature.
Right, they don't biodegrade.
Like the alchemists, you know, that created that kind of stuff. And it's like Machiavelli, you know, see, the ends justify the means.
Right.
You know? It doesn't matter if you make trash or if you're gonna kill, I don't know, whatever, a river down in Africa or something.
Or
we
eventually
need that
yourself.
piece of plastic in the table of a British family or something. Who cares? You know, it's like majority of the people don't know what the trash they do, where it goes.
Sure.
We have piles of trash like everywhere in the world. You know, trying to deal with that.
Right.
Because plastic, paper,
Computer
aluminum,
parts.
glass, and food, computer parts, and batteries, you know, which are lethal for nature.
Cars, everything that comes out of our body, the drugs we take too.
Exactly, what we
affecting the
eat.
animals. Yeah.
So, you know, in that terms, you know, we really need a whole universe of information, real information, so we can really deal with nature properly and not think we are better than nature. You know,
Try to control.
we cannot
and separate.
fly. We can't fly. You know, we don't. You know, I mean, airplanes and stuff. For me, it's an absurd. You know, it's so normal for everybody. You know, a house for me, it's absurd. You know, I mean, the human being has to deal with nature. You know, I mean, you see an earthquake and a tsunami and stuff. You see destruction, but everything recycle. You see a piece of a tree or everything. You know. I mean, the world was created by fucking tsunamis and earthquakes.
Right.
You know, we have like the fucking Fuji mountain there. Oh, it's beautiful and stuff, but this came from the disaster.
Right.
You know.